cannabis oil, or CBD oil, and it's legal in every state. In fact, the state of Tennessee actually licenses hemp farms and processors. You may have seen the ads touting this oil for relief from chronic pain. I have to admit, I was surprised at what I found when I took a closer look. Karen Smith's life changed for the better because of her dog.
I have a dog who is highly anxious.
At her wit's end, she gave her a few drops of CBD oil.
She just lays down and is relaxed.
The former hairdresser suffered from chronic shoulder pain and a terrible case of plantar fasciitis. She figured it couldn't hurt to try the oil herself. Karen says she takes about 5 drops of the oil under her tongue every day.
Within like 3 weeks, my shoulder was 90% better, and in 6 weeks, my foot was almost completely, it was gone.
We found some doctors in Memphis are already urging their patients to try CBD oil instead of opioids. Dr. Robert Burns is a gerontologist in Memphis. He researched these oils. He says they have a viable biologic basis for working.
For people who have pain, either neuropathic pain, they've got a disc that's bad, or they've got bad arthritis, it does seem to help.
I was totally desperate.
Sherry Henson went to a series of doctors for nearly 2 years to find relief from nerve pain.
Nothing was working, and I didn't like taking the muscle relaxers and the opioids. I didn't like the way it made me feel. I was worried I was going to get addicted.
She saw Karen Smith's Facebook post about her experience and decided she had nothing to lose. A few weeks later,
overall, I'm pretty much pain-free.
Smith and Henson agree there is a stigma about using cannabis oil because of its relationship to marijuana, but they agree with Dr. Burns that with this legal option,
we may not need medical marijuana, or this may be a good alternative.
When buying CBD or hemp oil, Dr. Burns says make sure the product has been verified by an outside company and pay attention to the numbers on the bottle, like 500 and 1,000.
The higher the number, the more concentrated the CBD oil is. So if you're buying 1,000 milligrams in a bottle, it's twice as strong as a 500. So you're not going to use the same dose.
CBD, short for cannabidiol, is a non-psychoactive compound in cannabis responsible for many of cannabis's medical benefits. On the other hand, THC, short for tetrahydrocannabinol, is the psychoactive compound in marijuana that causes the high associated with cannabis use. They are 2 completely separate cannabinoids, which are a class of chemical compounds that interact with special receptors in our body called cannabinoid receptors. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, an American neurosurgeon and CNN's chief medical correspondent, changed his stance on the prohibition of cannabis while investigating its powerful therapeutic properties and witnessing CBD successfully treat Americans. He shocked mainstream America, saying, "We have been terribly and systematically misled for nearly 70 years in the United States, and I apologize for my role in that." Through Dr. Gupta's review of the history of cannabis, he found that it has been a legitimate medicine for at least 3,000 years. And Dr. Gupta isn't alone in supporting cannabis research. The director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse, Dr. Nora Volkov, testified before the Senate saying that CBD appears to be a safe drug with no addictive effects, and the preliminary data suggests that it may have therapeutic value for a number of medical conditions. Research has shown that CBD can influence many conditions and bodily functions, including inflammation, neuropathic pain, autoimmune disease, energy regulation, metabolism, reproductive function, appetite, depression, anxiety, and even cancer. But how can one cannabinoid affect so many bodily processes without causing adverse side effects? The answer lies in our biochemistry, the natural intelligence of the body. We have naturally occurring cannabinoid receptors all over our body that interact with CBD. We have these receptors because our body is constantly making its own cannabinoids. These receptors and cannabinoids make up most of our endocannabinoid system, or ECS. Our ECS is always in action, and if functioning properly, is a major factor in keeping us healthy. Many doctors now think that some people suffer from an endocannabinoid imbalance, known as clinical endocannabinoid deficiency, or CED. People suffering from CED may benefit by supplementing with cannabinoids such as CBD. CBD is the most abundant cannabinoid in hemp, a cannabis crop the federal government allowed individual states to legalize in the 2014 Farm Bill. Hemp-derived CBD is legal in all 50 states, is non-addictive, does not cause a high, and is easy to incorporate into your current health routine.
There's a lot of confusion about what CBD is and where it comes from, so we'd like to dispel some of those myths. Many people assume that CBD oil contains only CBD, whereas due to the CO2 extraction method, it contains other cannabinoids such as CBD, CBDA, CBG, CBN, CBC, plus terpenes and flavonoids to give the full entourage effect. So CBD is extracted from industrial hemp, right? Well, it can be, but it's not the only source. CBD oil can be made from both industrial hemp and marijuana, as they are both a cannabis plant. Lots of CBD oil is made from CO2 extraction. Is that the only method? CBD oil can be made using any extraction method. CO2 extraction is the best since it preserves the terpenes and flavonoids. However, it does require expensive laboratory equipment. So is it true that industrial hemp has low THC? Yes, this is generally the case. Industrial hemp is defined as having less than 0.3% THC. However, when the extract is concentrated, these THC levels can increase above the 0.3% level. But without a lab test on the final product, you really have no idea. Many people have heard that CBD is good for epilepsy. It's true, there is some anecdotal evidence that CBD may be an effective treatment for epilepsy. But it also has anti-proliferative properties, which means it could stop cancer cells from spreading. Research is underway to support this using human trials. CBD oil is legal everywhere in the world, right? Not quite. While hemp-based CBD is legal in most places, CBD oil is not legal in every country, especially if it's derived from high THC cannabis plants. Check your local laws to find out. Is CBD oil just a single molecule extract? Some oils are, but if you want to enjoy a whole plant extract, try Indica Raw CBD plus CBDA Full Spectrum Extract with over 400 active molecules made using supercritical CO2. For legal reasons, it contains no THC, but you do get the whole plant goodness.